Emma Lambert gripped the steering wheel. Her knuckles turned white. She was nervous. Rookwood, her destination, loomed closer with every mile. The old handwritten map rustled on the passenger seat. It was the only guide she had to her great-aunt Millie's house. The house Emma inherited, the house everyone warned her about. The town sign finally appeared, half hidden by overgrown weeds. Rookwood, it read in faded paint. Founded 1888. Emma shivered. A strange unease settled over her as she drove into the town. It was eerily quiet, too quiet. Empty streets stretched before her. The houses were old, their paint peeling, windows dark and lifeless. A sense of abandonment hung heavy in the air. Where was everyone? Emma felt a shiver crawl down her spine. She parked in front of a dilapidated Victorian house at the end of the street. This had to be it, the house on the hill. The house that held her family's secrets. The first thing Emma noticed was the silence. It was a thick, heavy silence, broken only by the rustling of the wind through the trees. The second thing she noticed was the stairs. From the moment she stepped out of her car, she felt eyes on her. A group of children played in the street a few houses down. They stopped their game to watch her, their faces blank and expressionless. A shiver ran down her spine. These kids were creepy. She tried to find someone, anyone, to ask for directions. But the streets remained deserted. The houses seemed to press in on her, their vacant windows like empty eyes. Emma felt a growing sense of unease. What had she gotten herself into? As the sun began to set, casting long, eerie shadows across the town, Emma finally found someone. A woman was sweeping her porch, her back to Emma. "Excuse me?" Emma called out, her voice echoing in the stillness. The woman turned, her face etched with wrinkles, her eyes narrowed. "Can I help you?" she asked, her voice raspy. "You're Millie's girl, then?" the old woman asked, her eyes sharp and piercing. Emma nodded, clutching the house keys in her pocket. "You be careful up there," the woman warned, her voice low and menacing. "That house has secrets." Emma didn't wait to hear more. She hurried up the hill, her heart pounding in her chest. The house loomed before her, larger and more imposing than she'd imagined. The paint was peeling, the wood rotting in places. The windows were dark like the eyes of a predator. Taking a deep breath, Emma used the old tarnished key to unlock the front door. It creaked open with a groan, as if disturbed from a long sleep. A musty smell hit her, the smell of decay and forgotten things. The air inside was heavy, thick with dust and silence. She stepped inside, her footsteps echoing in the emptiness. Cobwebs hung from every corner and dust covered every surface. The furniture was draped in white sheets, giving the impression of ghosts frozen in time. It was like stepping into a tomb. Section 4, Secrets in the Shadows. Days turned into nights. Emma busied herself with cleaning and airing out the old house. She tried to ignore the strange noises, the floorboards creaking when no one was around, the whispers that seemed to come from the walls themselves. One day, while exploring the house, she stumbled upon a door hidden behind a dusty tapestry. It was locked, the wood around the handle scratched and marked. It looked like someone had tried to force it open. She knelt, her heart pounding in her chest. A cold draft seemed to seep from under the door, sending shivers down her spine. What was down there? And why was it locked? Emma knew, with a certainty that chilled her to the bone, that whatever secrets this house held were buried behind that door. Later that night, she lay in bed, unable to sleep. The silence of the house was broken only by the occasional creak or groan. Then she heard it, a soft scratching sound coming from the basement door. It was faint but unmistakable. Section 5. The Neighbor's Secret. Emma couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. Every time she looked out the window, she could have sworn she saw a figure lurking in the trees. It was always just a glimpse, a fleeting shadow that disappeared as quickly as it appeared. One afternoon, she decided to confront her only neighbor. He was an old man with a face like weathered leather and eyes that seemed to hold a lifetime of secrets. She found him tending his garden, his back to her. "Excuse me," she called out, her voice trembling slightly. The old man turned, his eyes narrowed. "Can I help you?" he asked, his voice gruff. Emma hesitated, unsure how to begin. "I was just wondering," she said, "if you knew anything about my great-aunt Millie, or this house." The old man's eyes hardened. "That house is bad news." he muttered, turning back to his garden. Best stay away from it. He refused to meet her gaze. What was he hiding?